What's up, everyone? It's Guy here with another crypto video. And this video, I'm going to talk about Thor Financial. Obviously, I did a video on it about 8 days ago and how I bought in to Thor and a few other nodes. I just want to give you an update as well as my increasing investment in Thor and why I invest in more into Thor. Again, before I go on, if you haven't already liked and subscribed to my channel, Minority Thinker, I'm currently at 1.08K. Again, thank you for those that recently subscribed and those that still, not unsubscribing me so far, because I made some of the, more a video, more of an honest take on how I think, Wonderland is somewhat of a, a scam and such like that. I got a lot of feedbacks and such. But anyway, I just want to get straight to the point is that, whatever it is that I see, I call, okay? And basically in this video, I'm just gonna do the same thing for Thor, and I'm not like a Moon Boys or shills out there. Obviously, sometime I put up these headlines. Obviously, these headline works for people that come in and view, and I just want to put the numbers out there for you to decide on whichever investment you want to invest to go forward. Again, BYOR always into whatever money projects you want a protocol to put in. Okay, all right guys, that said and done, let's get to the video. All right guys, as you may or may not aware, Thor Financial is basically a nodes of service and also they are doing DeFi's as a service. So I have videos on that if you look back into my channels and go over what exactly they do and how they get rewards and passive income. Again, before I go on, I'm not a financial advisor. All my videos are for the purpose of educational and entertainment only. Before you invest your hard-earned money, DYOR, do your own research to see if these projects are what you want to what you want to invest in. Again, these crypto and in general, all these protocols are high risk, speculative moves. Before I go on, let's look at Thor in general. What are some of the updates for Thor? Let's go deck screener for Thor here. May or may not be aware. If you're not following Thor, you might see this. It's like, wow, there's a drop right here on February 2nd here. Around 14 or 15%, it drops right there. And you might want, oh wow, it's dropping, and then obviously it's kind of trending up right now. Well, the reason why it drops is because of this news right here. Okay, let's go to our app here. This news right here dropped, so they came with the news that they're going to reduce the rewards. So basically, it's substantially decrease the rewards per day for Odin, Thor, Freya, Heimdall. That's the news when it drops, and then subsequently they give you an update on time. What they spread it out. It's not going to be a sudden drop in all the rewards, and all of them won, which is very strategically smart that they're doing that. So obviously a lot of folks are selling off because of that news, and I would say expectedly so, and won't blame them for those that bought in at around here and here, and that drop. Obviously, they're gonna be pissed and mad, especially if you're to buy an Odin. As you can see, that's my holding right now currently. As you can see, Odin gains you 2.73 Thor per day, and then now you drop to 1.02 Thor a day. So that's a huge drop. So as you can see, if you're to perch up here, obviously you're gonna be really angry, especially you purchase Odin, or if you hold like Heimdall or something. If or you purchase up here, that's when you purchase recently. Then that's going to be pretty upsetting. So won't blame them to whatever rewards they have sell. And that's the thing, guys. Obviously, we're the whole crypto space is in in a doghouse for almost, since the beginning of the year, or even before that. But anyway, it started the beginning of the year. Beginning of the year, crypto whole space is in doghouse. Just a lot of people massively panic selling and all this crazy stuff. Basically, the whole market, crypto market, crash. So, so with that crashing, a lot of DAOs and a lot of stuff's belly up. So all these nodes, obviously, it's gonna take a hit as well. However, with that said, relatively speaking, as you can see here from, let's say the beginning of the year, December 31st, as the crypto market crashes, the nodes are in an uptrend. So in relative term, like a little bit of a macro economic here, a macro view here, is there still an uptrend? Obviously, it's going to be up and down, but uptrend. So the reason why being is because, let's say they drop a news like that. This is why I like nodes, and then a lot of folks don't like it. A lot of Moon Boy may not like this types of long-term investment. Is that they want to get in, get out, and sell, and basically pressure selling or pressure on sell pressure, and that's why you see a lot of protocols failing is because of this. News like that drop, even when they have a lock-in incentive already, they're still selling it. There's technically, obviously Odin locked in quite a bit of money. I mean, Odin requires 78 Thor, 78.125 Thor. So 140, at the price of 143, that's around 11, a little over 11,000. That's locked in. That's locked in forever. You can't get it out. So even the lock-in staking forever, there's still sell pressure. And as you see, as soon as sell pressure, folks are buying it back. So imagine if, say, a protocol like just regular staking, obviously they're going to crash the market all the way down here, and it's snowballing effect. That's one of the reasons I like the nodes and the Thor are block, a strong block and such as you're locked in forever. You can't, panic sell or piss off sales or something like that. So that's one of the reasons why I like, and it's a up, down, sideways, down market, sideways market, nodes, or especially strong or Thor will have a upward trend, or if not sideways trend. So there's not a lot of, hopefully it's not, obviously there's always going to be risk and manipulation obviously occurs for like say whales, for example. They can accumulate Thors and then crash the market by not staking back into the protocol, and just sell it on the market. However, to combat that, I believe strong block, Thor, I'm not sure about strong block, but Thor has an OTC, basically over the counter purchase. They don't have to put it on the market, but they can actually sell it back into the over the counter, and TRADERJOE will buy back. So that's a good option there. Anyway, so when that news dropped, a lot of sell pressure. Now it's back hovering around that price point at this juncture right now. So because of that sell pressure, I think they already have implemented in place, but they also drop another. Seems like these guys are always, I think, I mean, I give them credit for it. Obviously, they're very transparent. They'll talk about it. They're talking about what they're going to drop. Obviously, on the down market, the reason why they drop is basically, there's two interpretations. Is that the investment that they invest in do not get the yield that they want, so they want to cut down rewards. That could be one thing, or they mentioned some of the emissions, that because adoption, more people are going in to create nodes, emissions increases. That could be another thing. And cost of emissions could increases, and that's why the rewards go down. Apparently, this is the second time that they drop the rewards. Obviously, the rewards can go down and also potentially go up too as well. So it could be positive or negative, how you look at it. at it. As far as the sustainability, it's a good thing. So I mean, I look at this in a different way. Most folk was like, oh, most moon boys would be like, oh, that's too low. I'll move on. So it's good. It's good that you move on because, this is for a long-term play. Again, this is a long-term play. If you're into long-term play, this could be it. But again, DYOR, because sustainability, let's say who would be in the right mind to reach, if they're into, grandiose, massive return, if like say the treasury is depleting, why would they want to even reduce even more, right? So it's kind of like this is for the long-term sustainability is what they're doing, because if they want to increase the treasury, they could have jacked up the percentage. A lot of people is going to jump in, and then potentially Thor could be over. Like it could basically crash Thor, because they can't keep up with the if to raise money. I mean, Thor can easily raise money, moon it real fast, and then could potentially be crashing, if they want to do that. And in turn, they actually do the opposite: is that they're willing to get hurt now, but in long term sustainability, which is good. I think it's a really smart play on their part. Another smart play is they introduced staking, so to keep the Thor into the system. So they did staking. They released 2 days after that, after the news that they're gonna reduce the rewards. So staking right here. This is when it first started. Look at this, 378,000%. Obviously, this is when it first started it. And within 24 hours, I'll show you the numbers a little later here. Within 24 hours, it popped up to, they jacked up to about 5 million total staking. And that's a good thing about staking too as well, is that there's another play in Thor. And that's why I purchased in. And I did not cash out my Thor. And I basically jumped into the staking because of its high APR. But also it gives you, an options other than just lifetime staking. It gives you an option to play with it as well. You get the rewards. You can actually sell in the market, or basically, and my goal is to get to the God mode. My plan of Thor is to get to the God mode. I'll tell you what God mode is and how you get in, and what are some of the good news about God mode. Okay, so I bought in more Thor. I compounded from my previous Thor earn and do the staking to get to more Thor, so that I can get into it, and then I can get into potentially Odin and then God mode. So that's the plan that I think everyone should look into, as far as long-term longevity of this protocol. Not just jumped in, cashed out. Thor, I think because of their reward structures reducing, I think they're shifting their attention toward long-term longevity now. So again, that's another update, is that they're into staking now, not the long lifetime staking into buying to the node, but actually the farm staking. You can get in, get it out, with the pairing with Thor and AVAX on Trader Joe. I'll show you quick how you do that as well toward the end of this video. That's another news. That's good news. These are some good news that I'm bringing to you, aside from the bad news that some perceive because of this lowering structure. I think this lowering structure give folks like myself entry into the point. So I did enter into at around 130, 140. Just give me an entry point at 140. So obviously it went all the way up to 228. So I was waiting for it to drop. So it did drop down to around 140. I was able to get in at 140. So for those that sold out the Thor, helped me get in at a decent price for me, because I'm more of a long-term as far as on this bags. Okay. So another, if you want all the information, pressure selling, aside from lowering the rewards, the Odin ROT also cycle through. So basically, when Odin tax. So Odin, basically the amount of time it takes ROT or ROI, basically the amount of day it takes for you to get all your money back. ROT is returning your Thor. And basically they put in tax. So there's a lot of things. They tax the tax with 1%. I think they give it for several weeks. So they raised up the tax, I believe it was, which is passed by the community as guardians, they call it, for a temporary time. So basically Odin sell off. So a lot of folks sitting on the sideline didn't want to invest because of the ROT or ROI, return on investment of Odin's. Obviously, as you can see, Odin's 11,000 plus to invest in, and when their time to the day that it takes for them to so I think C is 78. You just take this number, you divide it by 2.73, and you get the days to return your initial investment. Just on top of my head, it's about 28 days. So 28 days you invest in Odin, you get your money back. 28.5 days with this earning, okay? So when that day hit, which already hit, so Thor's, a lot of folks will sell that and cash out. So that, in essence, can pressure sell, drop the price down. So it's already hit. They obviously have an, mechanism in place to keep the price, basically, it appears that a serious back and forth happening with the community. So the first few things to clarify, price is down. We know it's primarily due to Odin selling off, as we have passed the first ROT date and claim tax are at 1%. We'll make the community poll today to vote and raise the tax to 25. So they're immediately raising the tax to 25% for Odin. They're probably not going to be happy with that as well. But again, this is for longevity. They can implement this the long run. Again, it's a panic sell, a pressure sell, and stuff like that. It's going to crash the price. So that's the reason why, guys, if you're for a long-term play, this is a good play, in my opinion. Obviously, DYOR, is that they put in mechanism so that a lot of folks, a lot of moon boys, some folks might not like it because they want, a quick gain of whatever percent. So they implemented 25. So this poll did pass to combat the sell pressure. Obviously, they also have OTC. These are mechanism to combat the sell pressure, a sell-off, okay? OTC, and then they also implement change in claim tax. These are the claim tax, okay? So there's a lot of taxes. Now, one would say, oh yeah, strong block is much it's much better, and etc. Strong block, it's a blessing in disguise that they're on the Ethereum network. Because strong block, let's say you earn the rewards and you basically trying to sell off in the market. Ethereum, it deter a lot of people by claiming little rewards to pressure sell and kill the price because of the Ethereum cost. The cost is so high to claim your rewards and sell it on the market that people have to accumulate enough to be worth selling. So the disadvantage of, say, most of the nodes on AVAX and Phantom is that the claiming and the selling on the market is so low that people are actually willing to sell for like pennies or dollars just to claim rewards, and that creates a sell pressure, to keep the price down. To claiming I don't know. I mean, people claiming for pennies or dollars, because the negative aspect of that is on an AVAX change and also on a Phantom change. So the feeds are minuscule, so people actually went out there and sell for pennies to a dollar. So that's the negative aspect of some of the nodes that onto these cheaper, to these inexpensive chains. Again, the saving grace, not to say that strong block is need any saving grace, but I'm just saying the saving grace for the sell pressure. Some good news, and also I mentioned earlier in that the feeds are super high for them to rewards and sell and stuff like that. So another update is this right here. Okay, we're pleased to announce we will have Certic audit the new smart contract. So basically, Thor want to separate themselves completely. They've redone all the contracts from that of Ring. Obviously, a lot of folks do not want to invest into Thor because of this annotation, this connection with Ring. Obviously, if you don't know Ring Financial, you can look that up yourself. Obviously, it's no longer around. So a lot of people connect Thor to Ring. All the contracts are somewhat similar, so they want to separate themselves from Ring, and I think that's a good thing, is that they're redoing their contracts and get it audited. So we'll see how that's gonna come out. So this is good, guy. This is big news right here. They're separating themselves from Rings and moving on. So that they want to put a lot of naysayer. A lot of people link them to Rings, and it's not a good image. I think that's a good thing to do that. It's a lot of news been dropped on Thor. Some that perceive as negatives, but I think they're building it for longevities. Once the sentiment shift, once crypto shift, in my opinion, the whole crypto space, once Bitcoin sentiment and the bull shift, I think good thing can only come out of that. So another thing, like I mentioned earlier, why my goal is to get God mode. And what is God mode? Okay. Before I go on, these questions came up here. What about Thor token? What is the use if to not make next nodes? I can answer this in my opinion, aside from before I read this. Okay. So now that introduced staking, token staking with high rewards, you can actually use your Thor token staked to accumulate more tokens and then use it on, earn rewards that way. So that's good. Similarly to the strong block, I believe the roadmap could be NFTs. So this is what the answer. The answer is why the NFT market is happening in conjunction with introduced cap. To remove the burden of treasury growth and price action to depend on new node buying demand and introduce a huge amount of utility within the Thor ecosystem. All NFT trades will be done using Thor token, not just Thor NFTs, but every single NFT sales. We are working with NFT partners to launch on the Thor marketplace, giving day one demand for Thor token outside of nodes and rewards. So aside from staking, which good, they're shifting toward NFTs, not shifting, but they're moving into the marketplace of NFTs, similarly to that of strong block. So NFTs utilizing Thor, as a trading mechanism for NFT sales. And I think what differentiates between Thor and that of strong block is Thor is the communities has a voting, kind of like a DAO, has the ability to somewhat have a saying into, say, what's direction of NFTs, what are some of the rewards and stuff for NFTs and such. And that's what differs. Strong block just basically come out and dictates what they want to do. Okay, the token outside node causing a much higher buy demand, losing any form of Ponzi-nomics. So now we're in the trading of NFT. This is the future, guys. This is big news, similar to that strong block. Okay, as Guardian, when times are good, it's easy for everyone to get along. It's times like now when things are rougher that test our morals as a community. I have full confidence in our community to move forward and know, like last time, saw the bad price action, this will pass. So that's another positive aspect. It's moving toward NFTs and trading NFTs, selling NFTs. I hope that you know we have that community has a lot of sayings in what the rewards of NFTs are. And here is the reason why I want to get Odin is my goal. Odin, Thor, and potentially get into God mode. Okay. Finally, some good news. We have been working on the background to make new and cool bonus for God mode members. If you do not have God modes, save up because all past, present, future God mode people will have access. Basically, team of David Dotan out of their personal investment, they purchased a lot of land within the Sandbox metaverse. So this come at zero cost to the protocol. Myself and David are personally covering the cost. We have our own developer, independent of Thor team, who is building Asgardian Metaverse Hangout. So that's pretty cool. So go down here. Yes, we are the first protocol to have a community metaverse hangout space. Extra perk for being a god. So there's a sandbox. This is a spot right here. It's going to be in God mode metaverse. So I'm excited, to basically, get into the God mode and have a place in the metaverse for God mode to hang out on the Thor protocol. I'm excited to see what's going on there. And say, yes, we're directly above SpaceX. So a lot of things happening, a lot of stuff that's, obviously the good and the bad. But I think at this moment, obviously this is not a shills 100x, 200x types of video. But if you're looking for long-term longevity, I think you should do more research on Thor Financial. Let's talk about my positions and how much I gain and what I do with my position. So currently, I'm on a Heimdall and Thor. I bought in, like I mentioned, the 22nd and 23rd. So I bought in at around here. For those two, when I dropped that video, I bought it around here. Let's go over my earnings here. So I bought it 22nd and 3rd. I bought it 153, 155. Obviously, right now the Thor's at 141. Price it's at 141. My total investment is $2,129. These two notes I got, and these are the money that I basically pull out, cash out, or all the rewards, the amount of time I did. So I cash out so far 470 on the 31st, and I stop after that because they dropped the LP liquidity pool. So I basically compound that up to 1.4 Thor, and I add more positions. Let's go through here. Let's go to farm. As you can see, currently total locked 6.5 million. I staked 15.07 Thor over staked. Price drop a little bit, but this number fluctuates based on AVAX and Thor market value, up or down. So this approximately 796. Earlier was like up to 1,000. I think when it first started, it was a huge amount, like thousands of percent. But anyway, earned me 0.67 Thor. So far, this is about 24 hours. So 0.67 Thor per day with this APR currently. So again, my I not only parlay my 1.4 Thor, but I also purchase an additional 6.5 Thor to get my APX. And some of you may follow me on Wonderland Time. Basically, I sold out all of Wonderland Time. This is where I bought it, AVX. I convert all the Wonderland Time, swap it to AVX, and this is where I put in my LP onto Thor. You're probably wondering where my time, what I do with my time. That's what I did. I bought AVEX. And what you can do with AVEX is you combine with Thor and do staking and to get more Thor. So my goal here, in essence, is let it compound, let the rewards compound to get to Odin. Okay? To get to Odin, obviously Freyr is a little much cheaper. I can get that pretty easy. So get to Odin and you need 78 per node. Okay? Get to Odin and potentially, how do you become God mode? How do you earn the God mode? Basically, you have a node on each of these class. Okay, each of these warriors. I got Heimdall and Thor already. This is my goal, is to get to become Odin. When I have Odin, I'll just get the Freya. Once you have each of these, you unlocked God mode. Okay, and God mode, like I mentioned earlier, you can get a hangout space in Metaverse. And who knows? You never know. There might be some other rewards and stuff like that, and NFTs for God modes or whatever might be the case. We don't know, as we know. Obviously, Thor price could drop more as these time approaches. But the good thing is that, like I mentioned, forever staking and you staking for a long time, you staking forever, is that there is lesser sell pressure. And because it's counterintuitive, because if they want to crash the price, you already have your own holding in there, okay? So you don't want to crash your own holding. So that's the thing is, and also they put in claim tax and such, that to deter from that, and OTC to deter from that, because if you're in a bear market, obviously the emotional aspect of it will kick in, and people sell pressure is going to be really, really high. So you have to basically have the ability to be flexible, to change. And I think long-term longevity wise, if they implement this, knowing that there's going to be increasing sell pressure on a bear market, some might see that as suicides, versus saying, I want to increase to attract more new money. So I see that as a really smart play. So I would question it if they start increasing like promises, like what Wonderland time promises. I would question it when promises airdrops, promises of buying back, never did. Promises, a lot of these promises that never really came to fruition. That's when I stay clear. I mean, and that's so. This is the reverse of the promises. This is pain. So we'll see how the long run. Obviously, all these Thor financials, strong block, there seem to be in the move in the right direction. Obviously, the team is not docked, so that's another negative about them. The team is not docked, so hopefully they'll dock soon, so that a lot of more money, a lot of institutions' money doesn't come in. Potentially list Thor on a DEX. I think that's the future there. I don't know if they want to do that, but that could be another play there. But doxing, the contract is similar to that of Ring. Another negative aspect, there's no roadmap. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't find it anywhere to see what directions it's leading. So yeah, maybe put in a roadmap where they want to take this. So those are some negative aspect that I see. But all in all, because of staking, because of the future of NFTs, especially the staking, is that you don't actually have to buy in the Thor node to get more Thors or invest into Thor Financial. You guys are staking, get your rewards and get out if you decide so choose to. Okay, so that's a good aspect of that as well. And then moving toward NFTs and such, I think that's a positive aspect of it. So for this short-term pain here, I can really care less, and the longevity is the key. Then I'm all willing to buy into it. So again, that's it, guys. Hope you like this video. I'm out. Cheers.